Hello YouTube, B3 here, back with another kicking action figure review. Yeah, today's review is over a Green Lantern Classics figure. I don't have a lot of Green Lantern Classics, only two actually. And this is the Manhunter robot figure from Wave 1. Yeah, he came with a Collect and Connect piece, the upper torso right here of our Kilo. Pretty big, actually. I already have the left arm as well. That was the first one I got. I got this guy today. 50th anniversary of Kennedy's death and tomorrow's 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. So, yeah, super tight. Well, actually, now I look at my watch, it is past midnight and it is the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. I'm sorry I said Kennedy's death was tight. That's not what I meant. I was just trying to history. So, yeah. Do you know the first episode of Doctor Who actually didn't do very well because of Kennedy's assassination? People were so preoccupied watching news about that on TV that he did not see the premiere of Doctor Who, and it didn't do very well. Thankfully, they played the first episode again before they premiered the second episode so that people got a chance to see it, and the show was indeed a hit. That's some history for you. Anyways, it came with some other cool stuff. It came with this 3D Green Lantern mask. I know that sounds dumb, but you can play the 3D game at greenlanterngame.com, launching September 2010. Probably still up. I don't know. Do not know. And I think they started making these figures because of the Green Lantern movie. I think Wave 2 actually has a Movie Master in it. Like a Movie Master figure. So, Anyways, on to the review. Manhunter robot. Yeah, as everyone knows, the Manhunters were the robots that the Guardians created before they had the Green Lantern Corps, but of course they went berserk. And, God, they live on a planet now. Well, I think actually they had something, because they were on War World, but I think the Red Lanterns, did something to them, I guess. The Red Lanterns controlled them. I don't know. I was reading Green Lantern one day, and it was the end of a story arc, end of the Third Army story arc, and the Manhunters showed up, and I didn't know what was going on. Because you can't understand one Green Lantern title without reading the other three. I'm not counting Larfleeze in that, because Larfleeze didn't come about yet, but the character did, the comic series did. I'm rambling, I'm sorry. Wow, I'm just... History. Yeah, the Manhunter robot. It seems to me they worked really hard on this figure, actually. I'm impressed. I'm actually really impressed. You see, the last thing he came with, I didn't show this because it was in his hand, is his big lantern thing he has here. It's huge. You got rivets on the back, so they made him his own lantern, which fits just fine in his hand. So I'm just going to remove it for... Oh, hold on. There we go. There we go. And now let's talk about this figure. How about articulation first? Well, as you just saw, head goes side to side, up and down a tiny bit, but it doesn't really stay well. Well, it stays a little, but, you know, that's not much. Ab crunch, really great. I love how the paint goes all the way up the joint. In and out on the arm, bicep swivel. This one, for some reason, is really loose when it's down like this. If it's up like this, it's not. But when it's down, it is. This one isn't like that at all, though. I don't know why they're different. You gotta bend in the elbow. One thing I'd also like to point out, the peg, I like how it's blue here, but sadly it's not red there. And, you know, it doesn't matter. I'd rather have it match this color than the red, because this is the part that's going to be out. So, yeah, it's not a far bend. This hinders it a little, but sacrificing articulation for detail is something you just have to do on figures sometimes. And you got a wrist swivel. Of course, you got a waist swivel as well. In and out on the leg, forward and back. You've got thigh rotation, double knee bend, which is something every figure I have from this line has. Him and Black Hand both have that double knee bend, which is awesome. And also up and down on the foot. So yeah, that double knee bend is probably the real kicking joint in this guy. So he's got some good articulation, more than your average like DC Universe Classics character, actually. Which is awesome, since he has those double joints. So yeah, now how about detail and paint job? Well, I think they got the details spot on for these classy Manhunters. It looks really great. I mean, they got his nice dome head and his little pharaoh thing, or whatever here, whatever. It looks good. It looks good to me. And that hides it real well, since that wouldn't connect to the body very well without this. It'd just look weird. Again, they gave us a metallic paint here. You know, it is a lantern-related figure, and we know how we like to see lantern characters shine. It's got that all the way around, and on his body, as I said, it's painted in there, which is fantastic. You got this average buck here, average buck on the arms, but the detail on these gauntlets looks really fantastic. It's got the green and the ovals, as you can see there. And this teal, is that teal? I'm bad at colors. But it looks nice, real metallic and shiny. Got a fist hand, lantern holding hand, as you've seen. You come down, you got still have these showing in crotch pits, but who really cares at this point, right? We're gonna have them forever. Well, not really forever, since they kind of stopped most of their DC stuff, but sorry, I loved Mattel's DC stuff though. At least it gives me time to catch up on lines I've been missing out on, like Green Lantern Classics. And he's got these nice bands. They look really good, and then he's got great detail on the feet, painted green in the ovals there too. On top of the feet, sides of his boots, boot-looking thing. He's got detail on the bottom of the feet. Didn't have to do that. They usually don't, but they did. They did, and the double knee joints. So yeah, they seem to have worked pretty hard on this figure. So now about we get into some size comparisons. So here's our Manhunter robot with some other Mattel figures. Here he is with the Green Lantern Classics Black Hand figure, which I really love, by the way. It's great. Double knee joints and double elbows, as you can see. Yeah, they're both from the same wave. Both came with parts of our kilo. And the Manhunter robot's a little bit taller than Hand. I think I have him a little straighter, though, but I have to stand Black Hand a little differently. Just because he's a little bulkier, and he also has a really loose knee joint. So, yeah. Well, not knee joint, it's on a loose joint on his foot. So I have one of his legs a little bent. That was a little specific. I don't really think you guys care that much. But then here he is next to the Hal Jordan from the 2-pack. The Hal Jordan Thal Sinestro 2-pack. And they're about the same height, so that's pretty awesome. So he's going to scale up well with your other basic Mattel figures. DC Universe Classics, DC Unlimited, Green Lantern Classics Signature Collection, Batman Unlimited, Batman Legacy. Yeah, all those lines he's going to scale up well with. Here he is with some other Mattel lines. Here he's with the Movie Masters Green Lantern Sinestro, who I feel like he's too big for. He seems just to tower over Sinestro and be much bigger in bulk as well. I think it looks awkward. I think that the Manhunter is just too big for Sinestro. So he's not going to scale up well with your Movie Masters Green Lantern figures. But at the same time, we have the Movie Masters Man of Steel Jor-El over here. And Jor-El, of course, is in a bigger scale. Slightly bigger scale than the Green Lantern, and a little bigger than the Batman ones as well. But here he is with our Manhunter robot. And the Manhunter robot's a little taller, but has about the same physique. And to be honest, I can see the Manhunter robots being a little taller than humanoids. I wouldn't be too surprised if they are in the comics, and I just haven't noticed. I mean, I've seen them in several things, but you know, I never really thought if they were taller or not. I never thought to really look. But I mean, I'm fine with this. The scaling of the Man of Steel ones are the only ones I don't have a problem with Movie Masters wise. Because he'll be a little too tall for the Batman figures, I can already tell. Because Batman's between the Green Lantern and Man of Steel scale. And I think if the Man of Steel ones were any smaller, he wouldn't scale up with them. So he only scales up well with your Man of Steel Movie Masters. All the Movie Masters are out of the question. Now, here's our Manhunter robot with some DC Direct, DC collectible figures. First off, here he is with the Blue Lantern Saint Walker from Blackest Night. Yeah, as you can see, Saint Walker already towers over most of our normal size characters in the DC Universe. And since DC Direct's a bigger scale, he's obviously way too big for this Manhunter robot. And then, of course, we have the Batman Incorporated Knight right here. And as you can see, he's too big for the Manhunter robot as well. So our Manhunter is not going to scale up well with DC Direct, which is really sad, since there's a lot of Green Lantern stuff for DC Direct, especially with all the stuff in the Brightest Day, Blackest Night lines. But yeah, quite a shame. I'm sure there's probably one in the direct scale, though. I wouldn't doubt that at all. In fact, I think I might have seen one, but I can't pull it from memory, so I can't be sure. Oh, and another note on the Movie Masters. The Green Lantern Movie Masters that aren't humanoid, that are really alien, he'll be fine with those. They're a little harder to decide on with scale, and you can just... no one cares. I mean, he'll look fine with your Not Kiloi or his Call. Maybe not your Tomo Ray, but those two, something like your Ratlap Fawn, he'll look fine with them. So, all in all, what do I think of the Green Lantern Classics Manhunter robot figure? He is so cool. Like, I can just tell Mattel tried really hard on this guy. And he's the only figure in the entire wave that is not a lantern. Because, you got Black Lantern Black Hand, Black Lantern Abin Sur, Sinestro Corps Mongol, Sinestro Corps Low and Mash. You got Green Lantern Kyle Rayner, and then Manhunter Robot. So, I'm actually glad, really glad, to have a Green Lantern villain who's not a lantern in my collection. I mean, I know he has a lantern, and he still uses like a power battery that's internal and stuff, but he's not a lantern. So, I'm down with that. The only one I have that's technically not a lantern is the Anti-Monitor, because he doesn't have the Sinestro Corps symbol on his chest. Even though he has all the fear energy. And none of my stuff skills up well with him, because he's just a Build-A-Figure. But yeah, I'm digging this guy. And you can tell they tried, gave him that original head sculpt. He's got his big neck guard thing. They painted in the joints. They paid attention to the colors. I mean, he's got a nice metallic paint. Got that great sculpting on the gauntlets and the boots. They didn't have to give us that big lantern, but they did. This is a cool looking guy. You got that double knee joint. Come on. This is a tight figure. Scales up well with everything he needs to, and then he even scales up well with the Man of Steel Movie Masters. I think he looks fine with them, just fine. So, I gotta give him 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 stars for this guy. I think he's great. I mean, I'm always looking for more Green Lantern figures to add to my collection. You guys know I love Green Lantern. Ever since I read Jeff Johns' run on it, I've just been hooked. Love collecting Green Lantern. And this is like almost necessary for a Green Lantern collector. It's a Manhunter. He was a Green Lantern before it was cool. Sort of. But I mean, this is a great figure. Just one step closer to building that Arculo. I'm gonna have some trouble finding the Kyle Rayner, but this guy here I got from mycomicsplus.net. And if you go to mycomicsplus.net, link in the description below, and you use the coupon code Godzilla and Gigan10, you can get 10% off of your purchase. And if the code doesn't work, send me a message or email will@mycomicsplus.net. And if that email address is wrong, there will be one on the site. Because they revamped the site, it wasn't working, lots of orders weren't going through and stuff. And there were lots of complaints that it wasn't working, and there was a problem with the IP. That is fixed now. That is fixed. You can't get this figure on there. I did get the last one. I am sorry about that. But there are other figures you can get. Other Green Lantern figures, other DC figures. They are there. DC Direct, Mattel. Really cool. I've been getting stuff there for years. So yeah, that's it, you guys. 5 out of 5 stars. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. I would really like subscriptions. And check out my main channel. This is not my main channel anymore. My main channel is the B3 Productions channel, found in a link in the description below. It's my new channel and everything. And then also, I got my gaming channel. I got the Slender happening. So I can check those channels out. They're pretty tight as well. Not to mention Facebook, Twitter. Follow me back on Twitter. mycomicsplus.net. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. Description below. Recent reviews and stuff too. So thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate all the views and everything you guys do for me, including rating, commenting, and subscribing. Wank. So yes, just thank you all so much. 5 out of 5 stars for this guy, and I'll see you all later.